Kendo is looking to sell Fenty Beauty. I was like, what? Why would they do that? Like, that just sounds like a strange move. So what do these things do? Essentially, what it's doing is it's poking into your skin and putting radio frequency under the top layer of the skin. On October 15th, the USFDA has issued a safety communication regarding these devices, citing reports of serious complications, including burns, scars, fat loss, disfigurement, and nerve damage.
Don't expect this to be good. Don't expect this to be good because it's my first time painting an inverted freaking face. Oh, let me show you what it looks like. So, hold please. Oh my God.
Hello, my friend. Welcome back to What's Up in Makeup, where we talk about everything that happened across the beauty space, all in one place. We have so many interesting stories this week. I was talking to my husband. I was like, we don't have any bangers this week. Like, there's no like Jaclyn Hill drama or like Tati Westbrook drama or, James Charles drama. You know what I mean? There's no bangers. However, there are some really interesting stories. You can see them next to me. Trust me, it's going to be a great show. Stay tuned. But if you would like, there are timestamps down below if you would like to skip around. With that being said, let us jump into our very first story. And it has to do with something that was not on my 2025 bingo card. And that is the rumor that Kendo is looking to sell Fenty Beauty. I was like, what? Why would they do that? Like, that just sounds like a strange move. In order to understand this, though, you kind of have to understand the train of ownership of Fenty Beauty. So stay with me on this. Fenty Beauty is partially owned by Rihanna, of course, but it is 50% owned by Kendo. Kendo is a beauty incubator company. They help brands grow. They are owned by LVMH, who also owns Sephora. So here's LVMH, here's Kendo, here's Sephora, here's Fenty Beauty. So like I said, rumor has it that Kendo is looking to sell their piece of Fenty Beauty. But of course, it's not just the makeup. It's also the fragrance. It's also the hair care. It's also the body care. And if you go over to the Kendo website and you look at all of the Kendo brands, because they sold KVD Beauty about a month ago, pretty much all of the brands are Fenty related, 4 out of the 6 to be exact. The other 2 are the Lip Lab, which was the rebranding and repurposing of Bite Beauty. It's an in-person custom lipstick mixing experience. Then there's skincare brand Ole Henriksen. So if they do sell off all of the Fenty Beauties, those 2 brands are all that's left. And Kendo used to be a freaking force, man. They had so many companies underneath them, but it's just kind of dwindled over the years. So what it seems like, because they sold KVD Beauty and now they're talking about selling Fenty, maybe possibly they're just trying to get rid of Kendo altogether. So if they do sell Fenty, maybe they'll look at selling Ole Henriksen and the Lip Lab. Possibly, I don't know. It's just a theory. It's where my heart and my thoughts are pushing me, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. The next story involves the parent company Kenvue, and in order to tell the story, I also need to talk about how our current president here in the US is affecting Kenvue. So if you do not want to hear anything about that guy, I understand. Timestamp is here. Feel free to skip ahead. Okay, you're still here. So let me tell you what's going on with Kenvue and how our administration is affecting their business and the beauty brands that are underneath them. Kenvue is a spinoff of Johnson & Johnson. So they own a lot of beauty brands. Of course, they own Johnson's. They also own Aveeno, Neutrogena, OGX Hair Care, Clean and Clear, Lubriderm, Rogaine, and Maui Moisture. They also own Tylenol. I don't know about you, but when I first saw that our president and our health secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., were going after Tylenol, my first thought was, okay, what are they getting out of this? Or who did Kenvue piss off? Because it just didn't make any sense. We have heard about the connection between Tylenol and autism. We know that there were a bunch of class action lawsuits, but all of those were dismissed back in 2024. Science has said that all of the claims of that connection, they're they just haven't been able to prove a connection at all. So why did RFK Jr. come out on September 5th so hard against Tylenol and his alleged link between Tylenol and autism? What we do know is that when he did come out, the Kenvue stock dropped ridiculously, like 9%. That's a lot. But the nail in the proverbial coffin was when our president came out on September 22nd and specifically said, did not mince words, don't use Tylenol. Essentially, the claim is that acetaminophen, when taken while pregnant, could cause the child to either have ADHD or autism. But again, the scientific community says that there isn't a causal link. And reportedly, these statements have cost Kenvue $10 billion in market revenue. Business of Fashion did an article on this, and it was very fascinating. There's a guy that they interviewed named Bob Cholpak. He is the managing partner at a firm that specializes in crisis communications. This is what he said. In 25 years or so of doing this work, I've never seen a president, the HHS secretary, and the FDA commissioner join hands in common cause with the plaintiff's bar and use the bully pulpit of the White House to promote the interests of a legal case. There is a theory that it's possible that our administration is trying to cure autism and in that be a hero and secure more power in people lauding him for this amazing act. That's a theory. But back to Kenvue, this has put them in a really bad financial position and they have to decide what they want to do. And they own a lot of beauty brands. Again, we're talking Neutrogena, Aveeno, Clean and Clear. They've been underperforming for years. Again, according to the article that's linked down below, reports say that there is some interest in specifically Neutrogena and or Aveeno, and that the skin, health, and beauty brands that are owned by Kenvue collectively could be worth $6 billion to $9 billion, despite the statements of falling revenue. Because remember, these are legacy brands that have been around for a long time. So here's where we switch over to my humble opinion. Nobody is checking for Aveeno. Nobody is checking for Neutrogena. Nobody is checking for Clean and Clear. However, there is something to be said for people who find their favorites and do not care about the trends on TikTok, do not care about buying things on TikTok shop. There are people that they find their favorite things from their legacy brands and they buy them for decades. And those people are the target market for these brands. So even though we're not really seeing them on socials doing a whole lot, that doesn't mean they're not raking in billions of dollars. That being said, it couldn't hurt to modernize a little bit. It couldn't hurt to kind of bring some new life into these brands and not weigh so heavily on people that already know these brands exist and have already found their favorite products. I'm thinking about like what happened with CeraVe, how CeraVe was like this boring ass brand. And then all of a sudden skinfluencers like Hiram just literally made these brands go from just another bottle on the drugstore shelf to being iconic products for younger customers. I feel like these brands really could use that kind of refresh in order to reinvigorate it. And maybe if they sell them, they could get into the hands of a company that could do that without betraying their legacy customers. But we'll just have to wait and see. I have a feeling they're going to be sold sooner rather than later, but that's just a prediction. A good brand endorsement by a celebrity can be brand changing. The whole trajectory of a brand can be different when it's endorsed by a celebrity. And of course, the bigger the celebrity, the bigger the push can be. And the company Fazit, who makes glitter freckles, hit the freaking jackpot when Taylor Swift wore them to a Chiefs game last year where she was watching her then boyfriend, now fiance, Travis Kelce. When she was watching him play football, she's wearing the glitter freckles. And I'm telling you, what happened was that they got $1 million in sales of these glitter freckles in 48 hours, and now they've become a multi-million-dollar brand with the goal of $40 million by the end of 2025. And this incredible growth is leading Fazit to expand. They want to get these in the hands of UK customers, and they're going to do that by selling through Sephora. We don't know at this point how much they're going to charge for them in the UK, but we do know that here they're $16 for a 6-pack, and essentially they're like a temporary tattoo application. The Fazit glitter freckles are going to be on those specialty end caps, the ones that say like hot on social or the next big thing. coming. They're starting on November 7th. Specifically, they're going to be selling the golden speckles and the golden eye speckles. Co-founder Aliette Buttleman stated in an interview, quote, "Because of Taylor and being put on this global stage, we've had to make faster decisions than most brands to be more accessible to the customer and to give them what they want." They also capitalized on Taylor's latest album, which is called Life of a Showgirl. Now, I know the album got some mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people are like, me. Doesn't matter, because in this story, Fazit is winning, okay? Fazit is winning because they came out with special Life of a Showgirl glitter freckles that sold out. They launched on October 6th, same day as the album, and it was a merry, happy joining of the Taylor Swift fans and Fazit made a ton of money.
Okay, exactly a year ago, Taylor Swift wore our brand Fazit's glitter freckles to the Chiefs game, and it was the most mind-boggling, craziest experience of our life. And today, pretty much on the 1-year anniversary,
guys, today's October 6th. She wore it
October 7th of last year. There's a picture of her wearing it again while she is playing the piano. Probably
she was writing the Life of a Showgirl. She posted the pictures today. You zoom in, a creator just messaged the Fazit account saying, I think she's wearing the product. She's in a pink sweater. We zoomed in. She's literally wearing the gold glitter freckles again. I feel like she had to be like getting into like the Life of a Showgirl vibe.
How is it possible that she's wearing them pretty much a year later on the dot?
We just called our parents and they told us we're witches.
Apparently, their Amazon sales went up 235% and their Instagram engagement went up by 800%. Also contributing to the growth of the brand are 2 collaborations that they did with Olive and June and Elf Cosmetics. And what they did was they put a bundle together with one product from the other brand and one Fazit product. They put it together in a bundle and sold it to kind of get access to other audiences, which I personally think is really smart. So what do you think of the glitter freckle trends? Okay, this is, again, my personal opinion. I think that it's great that they're doing great, and I understand why they're doing great. However, I would warn them to not rely too heavily on a trendy product. Right now, their entire line, their entire lifeblood is this trend. They're going to need to diversify because eventually this trend is going to look dated and people aren't going to want to do it anymore. And if they've got all of their, their customers and everything in this one glitter freckle bag, what's going to happen when that trend dies? The brand's going to die. So I'm hoping that they're thinking about diversifying their offerings, thinking about other ways to tap into culture. I don't know what they're going to do, but I really hope that they survive beyond just the glitter freckle trend. Would you be surprised to learn that none of the stories I've told you so far were the top cosmetic industry news stories across platforms this week? The actual top story was this one. L'Oreal has joined forces with Kering. See what you just did? You just glossed over because that sounds boring as shit, because it is. But not in the business world. It's actually an interesting story. Let me tell you why. You can see why I pushed it down in the lineup, right? You get my logic here. Anyway, let me tell you why this is important. It's so important that I'm actually sourcing this story from 7 different articles. First thing you need to know is that they are both French parent companies, that they own control over a lot of beauty brands. So Kering's total equity in 2024 was 15.73 billion euros and L'Oreal's was 33.13 billion euros. Kering owns brands like YSL, Balenciaga, and Gucci. L'Oreal, of course, owns Maybelline, Garnier, NYX, Kiehl's, Lancôme, Prada, Urban Decay, Kérastase, Redken, huge portfolio. On Sunday, they announced they're getting married in the business world. They specifically say they are forming a long-term strategic partnership in beauty and wellness. So Kering is selling the Kering Beauty brands to L'Oreal in a cash deal valued at 4 billion euros. Now, this includes House of Creed being sold to L'Oreal and gives L'Oreal the rights to enter a 50-year exclusive license for the creation, development, and distribution of fragrance and beauty products for Gucci. But they can't do it right now because Kering is actually still in a deal with Coty, and that doesn't expire till 2028. So they're waiting for that to die out before L'Oreal takes over. Now, what does that mean for Gucci customers? If you like Gucci fragrances, Coty's probably going to be like, well, you're not going to be part of our portfolio in 3 years, so why should we invest in you? Why should we build you up? So we may see a lessening of releases from Gucci fragrances and other Gucci products. That is until 2028 when L'Oreal takes over. But this is where it gets interesting, especially if you're a fragrance lover, because House of Creed is the oldest existing high-end niche fragrance house. So this makes L'Oreal a huge powerhouse in the extremely popular fragrance category. So that is going to join together with Yves Saint Laurent fragrances, with Armani, with Valentino, with Prada, with Mugler, with Victor and Rolf, with Ralph Lauren, with Diesel, with Cacharel, among a bunch of others. The partnership will also include a 50-year exclusive license for Bottega Veneta and Balenciaga. The 4 billion euros is due in cash at closing, which is expected to take place in the first half of 2026. L'Oreal will also continue to pay royalties to Kering for its use of the licensed brands. But this is not about just beauty brands. This is where the marriage comes in, because the companies say they're joining forces to explore business opportunities at the intersection of luxury, wellness, and longevity. What that means specifically, we don't exactly know yet, but it's big. No matter what, we're not really sure how this is going to affect customers, but if you see things changing with any of these brands, now you'll know why. Now it is time to get into some FDA safety warnings, because I want you to have a safe face. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, so I want you to know about this specifically, because this one's pretty bad. It has to do with RF microneedling devices. And we know that all the devices, the at home, trying to get the professional stuff at home in the convenience of our houses, we know that's becoming more and more popular. And we also know that it's not super regulated here in the US. So we need to be looking out for each other. So make sure you're paying attention to this if you are at all interested in microneedling at home. So what do these things do? Essentially, what it's doing is it's poking into your skin and putting radio frequency under the top layer of the skin. And what they're claiming it does is it's like skin rejuvenation, skin tightening, wrinkle reduction, stuff like that. So is the FDA just trying to ruin everybody's fun? No. It does not seem that they are. On October 15th, the USFDA has issued a safety communication regarding these devices, citing reports of serious complications, including burns, scars, fat loss, disfigurement, and nerve damage. And the problem is that these are irreversible. Sometimes they require surgery or medical intervention, and you may not be fixed. The FDA stressed that the RF microneedling is a medical procedure, not a cosmetic treatment, so it should only be performed by licensed and trained healthcare professionals, and the at-home use of these devices is actually not allowed. Healthcare providers in offices who are providing these services are urged to discuss potential risks with patients, and the FDA is working with device manufacturers to evaluate safety data to figure out how to stop all of these bad things from happening, because they want the technology to continue, but right now it can go bad.
There's a devastating side effect of radiofrequency microneedling that nobody is talking about.
Oh my God, there has been a lot of talk lately about RF microneedling. Some say it's amazing for skin tightening and collagen, and others are warning that it's causing fat loss and long-term damage. So what should we believe? Honestly, it comes down to how it's being used. RF microneedling is very user dependent. The needle depth, the settings, the areas being treated, all that makes a huge difference. And not every face is the right candidate for RF microneedling. In my opinion, when used in the right hands, conservatively and intentionally, RF microneedling can deliver great results. But overdoing it, especially with deep settings, might explain why some people are seeing unwanted volume loss. So here's my take. Work with someone who has a lot of experience, not just with the device, but with long-term outcomes. And that could be with a dermatologist or even a plastic surgeon who's seen how the skin responds over time, even during surgery. Do your homework, ask the right questions, and make an informed decision.
One of the biggest problems that they say that they're facing is platforms like TikTok saying to use these radio frequency microneedling devices for uses that are not part of the recommended uses, which is causing things to be even worse. So what they have to do now is they have to reevaluate and say, hey, are these unintended uses for these products so dangerous that we just have to ban the devices altogether? It's actually kind of a mess, but I will keep an eye on it and let you know how it all shakes out. Now let's move on to the second one, and this is a recall of a very popular product, the Neutrogena Makeup Remover Ultra Soft Cleansing Towelettes. It has been listed as a Class 2 health risk following the detection of, I'm going to do my best, Helicobacter pyrgos. I don't know. It's a bacteria and it's in only certain lots. The contamination poses a potential infection risk, particularly for individuals with weakened immune systems. Kenvue Brands initiated a recall on September 19th. So why haven't we heard about it until now? And it's because they didn't do a press release. So I just learned about it this past week. It affects 1,312 cases of the 25-count plant-based compostable Neutrogena makeup remover wipes. The lot number is on the screen right now. They were distributed in the US in the specific states of Texas, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. The wipes tested positively when Neutrogena was testing their wipes for issues. So it was found internally. It is a voluntary recall. They have initiated it themselves. Here's the good news. If you happen to have these wipes and you have been using them, it says specifically that they are thought to only potentially cause temporary and medically reversible health effects. There is a link below for more information if you'd like to learn about it. If you are relatively new here, you may not know how big of an ingredient nerd I am. I used to do full ingredient analyses on all of the cosmetic products that I reviewed, eyeshadow palettes, lip glosses, foundations, all of that, and we all learned about ingredients a lot together. So when I saw this new product, this new innovation, the ingredient nerd was activated. So check this out. It's a Scandinavian beauty brand called Mantle, and they have a new product called the Organ Essence. It may not be what you think it is. Hang with me. So here's the story. Mantle's CEO, her name is Josefine Langord, and she did an interview with WWD, and what she said was that she has a cosmetic chemist, obviously, with her brand. Her cosmetic chemist has a goddaughter, and that goddaughter had to have a heart transplant, and it got her thinking. She was like, okay, so these hearts are transplanted in this fluid, right? To keep it good, to keep everything good so that it can get to its recipient. So is there something within that fluid that we can use in skincare? The article on the website don't name a specific fluid that they used as a model, but it seems to be a fluid called Celsior, and its job is to keep organs stable during transplant. They help to prevent the tissue from swelling, from breaking down or becoming damaged while the organ is kept cold outside of the body. It's used in conjunction with being cold. You can see this is not going in a good direction. But let's get back to Josephine, because she said she was thinking that similar ingredients in skincare would be good because we also want to preserve the tissue and use things that protect from free radicals. She added on that people sometimes have issues with other antioxidants on the market like vitamin C, so maybe this one would be more gentle. But she was saying that this particular liquid is gentle and effective, her words. So that's what Josephine did, and that's how she ended up with the Organ Essence, which she says protects and can strengthen the skin so that its surface dryness disappears. She also claims that the product gives a brightening effect and the fading of hyperpigmentation. So I was like, okay. I'm just curious. Is this a thing? Is this real? Is this like a new ingredient? And I looked into it. But to be very clear, I am not a cosmetic chemist. I have an extensive amount of experience in Googling. That is literally my qualification. So please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. So what I did was I cross-referenced the ingredients of the product with Celsior because they did have a lot of common ingredients. First thing you need to know about Celsior is that is not meant for the skin. It is not pH balanced. It would not be gentle. It is not, you do not want this on your face. if you did put Celsior on your face, you might end up with burns, you might end up with irritation, and also there's an ingredient in there that could actually dry out your skin. But most importantly, the whole point of Celsior is to stop the cell function, to stop it from doing what it's supposed to do. But in skincare, we want to speed up the process of having cells do what they're supposed to do, because as we get older, our skin cells start slowing down on all those processes, like making collagen and elastin. So we're trying to speed all of that up, speed up the shedding of the skin so that our skin gets brighter, all of that. And Celsior actually stops that process. So it doesn't, scientifically, it just doesn't make any sense. USFDA talks about preserving the skin, but that's actually the opposite of what we want to do with skincare. The other flaw in this is that our hearts aren't covered in skin. There's no skin on the outside of the heart. So thinking that these ingredients could help the skin barrier at room temperature when it helps the heart, which has no skin, in a cold environment, like if you don't know any of this, and if you didn't do the weird research that I did, you probably wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But if you look into the science of it, it just doesn't make any sense. Another claim that they make on their website is that the organ essence is pure enough to store a human heart. I don't know. I don't know if it's pure enough to store a human heart. All I know is that looking at the two ingredient lists, they're definitely different. And that being said, the skincare, the organ essence skincare, is actually, it kind of looks like a good skincare product, but it's not the same thing. It's inspired by, but it's not the same. And they're really overselling that it's more similar than it is. And we're very thankful for that. We are thankful for that in this house, because we do not want the actual stuff on our faces. So this is how it's similar. Essentially, it's a pH chemical exfoliator that is going to hydrate, is what's going to happen with the ingredients they took from it. And they are not lying that they took inspiration from this organ transplant goo, but it is very different. And I get that every brand needs to market, every brand needs to stand out, and their ads on their Instagram, they stand out. And also they got me talking about it. So the marketing is working because there is engagement on their Instagram. There are sales of this product. Like it's working, but I personally am not a big fan of using science in a way that feels bad faith. They could have easily said inspired by the goo that the heart is in, instead of making it sound like it's the same in some way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but as a science nerd, as an ingredient nerd, just kind of grating on me a little bit. But for the average consumer, nobody's going to freaking care. But one thing you may care about is, as I was wrapping this up, I did look over on their website, and the article that I read said this just launched. So I was wondering how in the world they got 369 reviews, and 80% of them are 5-star reviews if it just launched a few days ago. Like, they just had a launch party. How did they get so many reviews? They sent out a bunch of samples of this ahead of time. So only 20 out of the 369 reviews are from verified buyers, and it's very transparent on their website. But if you don't look for it, then you might not notice it. So I just wanted to let you know, don't take that star rating take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that the people that got the samples were lying or anything, but you never know. So anyway, my point is, if you're looking for a PHA chemical exfoliator that's hydrating, this one actually does look pretty good, but don't get it because you think that it's safe for organs to be put in. And don't put any organs in it because it's not good. Chances are it's not going to work. All right, my friends, we have made it to the product report. I do want to tell you about some products that I did get in PR. I'm trying to do that, just give you a little bit of product reviews. I'm going to show you this week the ColourPop holiday collection that, of course, has launched before Halloween. This is what is on my face today, on my eyes today, the How the Grinch Stole Christmas palette. It is a traditional ColourPop palette. If you like ColourPop's formula, you're probably going to love it. If you don't, you're not going to like it. It's the same thing that they do. Let me swatch a little bit of the color story so you can see what's happening. There are some of the Super Shock formulas in here. There's some of the mattes, of course, and some of the traditional shimmery foiled guys. I don't know why I skipped that top row. I just completely skipped the top row, but I do have room, so I'm going to swatch it. Bloop. There we go. Let's go back into that top row. Let's show the whole thing. Bloop, bloop, Bloop. That was the super shock right there. So there is the full color story of the palette. So it's got a nice mixture of dimension from light to medium to a bit deeper. They went a little softer on the browns and the more natural shades this year, which I kind of like because a lot of us already have a lot of natural colors. It leans very heavily pink, as you can see. It's very pink and green. If you like pink and green together, then yeah, absolutely. You're probably going to very much enjoy it if you enjoy the ColourPop formula. Let's talk about the rest of the collection. So there's two of these, the lip kits. There's a lip liner and a plumping gloss balm. And I used today the lip liner. I didn't use the plumping gloss balm because I didn't want it to be pink. I wanted it to be a little more peachy brown-ish. So I used just the lip liner from the Berry Grinchy set. And then I topped it with this lip gloss from the Swirl Lip Gloss Kit. And that's what's on my lips today. I really love my lip look. Oh, I also put one of the Super Shock highlighters on. I'll tell you about that in a second. But one thing I wanted to let you know about these, and I said it on my Instagram stories if you follow me on Instagram, is that these are supposed to be sugar cookie scented. They're not. I asked my husband, I asked my son, I was like, what does this smell like to you? And they were like, yeah, some kind of baked good. Absolutely. It smells like bread to me. Like, absolutely smells like bread. Like a Pillsbury crescent roll. Or a baguette, a very buttery baguette is what it smells like. I actually whipped this out in my Instagram story because it does smell quite a bit like this. This is the Panera Bread collaboration lip balm that they did in Get That Bread. It's on the same lines. This one is a little bit stronger and slightly sweeter, but there's not nearly enough sweetness in this for it to be cookie scented. So do not be disappointed if you get it for the cookie scent and it doesn't smell like cookies. If you like the smell of bread though, you should get these because they're pretty awesome. The scent doesn't linger, like I can't smell it now. It's just really out of the tube when you first put it on. So don't get too excited if you love bread. but if you like bread, this is good. I didn't smell these or open these yet because I do plan on putting these in my giveaway box. Also in the collection are two eyeshadow sticks. It's called Liked Christmas a Lot, and I used this one on my eyes today, the shimmery champagne shade, and then I used the eyeshadow palette on top of it. So that's what you're seeing on my eyeballs today. What is that over there? Okay. For my highlight today, I did use the highlighter in two sizes too small from the little highlighter set. The other shade is called Grew 3 Sizes, and it's more of a pink, but this is my highlight that you're seeing right there. And then also in the collection, I have not opened this, is this little Who Hash, which is really cute, and it's just a like iridescent white glitter. It almost looks like fake snow glittery kinds of stuff. Going to be really, really beautiful for the holiday season. So thank you so much to ColourPop for sending that over. I'm very much enjoying it. I also have this that I've been meaning to show you. I did use this earlier in the week, but it didn't match my color story today, so I did not use it. This is the Nevermore palette by Gourmand Girls. I honestly haven't played in this enough to fully review it, but I did want to show it to you, and maybe my outfit will match it next week. It is a beautiful, beautiful color story, and I did enjoy using it that one time, but I'm not ready to review it. I just wanted to mention it because I have it, and thank you for sending it over. And it may or may not show up in a review, but just so you know, Gourmand Girls came out with this. And I love Gourmand Girls formula. Some of their past palettes are some of my favorites, so if you are interested in this color story, it may be something you want to check out. Let's talk about some more product releases just a little bit more in depth. The first one I want to talk to you about is the product that was all over my feed last week and I could not get away from it. The King Kylie thing from Kylie Cosmetics was everywhere and I did not get it. I'm like, I don't know what King Kylie is. I don't know why we're doing this. So if you were like me and you didn't know what was happening, here's what you need to know. Essentially, it seems like Kylie Jenner and the team over at Kylie Cosmetics are recognizing that the height of Kylie Cosmetics was during the specific time period of the beauty influencer boom in 2016. During that period of time, Kylie had a certain look and was doing certain things, and that's what this collection is inspired by. They're trying to go off of the 10 years ago nostalgia of the brand. They're playing off of the dog filter. They had an influencer party. Kylie Jenner herself is participating more in the marketing of the products. The eyeshadow palette is inspired by Kylie's hair and her look of the time. And I will tell you, I feel like that this is working because I can't even remember the last time I heard about a Kylie Cosmetics launch and was like, oh, that's interesting, or even knew that Kylie Cosmetics was launching anything. So this is working. It's doing it. But what are the products, and are they actually good, or are we just playing heavy into that nostalgia and the fact that Kylie Jenner is paying attention to us again? So let's look at the collection. Full collection, if you wanted to buy it, is $263. There's 3 lip kits. That's, of course, what she launched on, was these lip kits. They include a lipstick and a lip liner. There's also a loose powder highlighter, a 10-shade eyeshadow palette, 3 lip glazes, and a highlighter brush that's brand new. The eyeshadow palette is specifically inspired by memorable hair moments from that time from Kylie. That's why it's got all the blues. The lip kits are a mix of new and old shades from that era. The lip glazes are new, but they're inspired by old shades, and the highlighter also is inspired by her original highlighter from 2017. Individual products will run you between $21 and $36 per product. There are some bundles available. If you are a Kylie superfan, you do have an additional option, and it's the PR box option. I do not have this. I do not know what it's made out of, but it looks like a traditional PR box that we may get from a company like Glamlight, right? They're all cardboard, okay? Let's just say that. But a lot of times they're cool. Milani sends this stuff out too. They're really cool. They have like little drawers and layers and all that stuff. They're really neat, right? But listen to the upcharge on this. $263 for the full collection. You're gonna pay an extra $112 just for the box. I'm sorry, what? But it's sold out. It's sold out. So Kylie superfans bought it, and I hope that they're very happy with their purchase. I'm trying really hard not to money shame you right now, but I really hope you don't feel like you got ripped off. I guess it's more of like the collector's edition, but $112 for a cardboard box with layers with her face all over it? Like, I can't even. In the end, I just hope if you bought it that you love it. That's what it comes down to. So speaking of selling out, a lot of the collection is sold out. All the bundles are sold out. If you're looking for products, you're able to still get the lip kits. Those are still there. There's 1 lip glaze left, but everything else is gone. The way that things are listed, it looks like some things might come back, some things might not come back. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. They do have those little notify me buttons where you can sign up for their email list, and they'll let you know if it comes back and restocks. So you can do that if you're interested. But in the end, let's just talk about this for a second. So is this a comeback of Kylie Cosmetics? Is that what this is? Or is this just a temporary thing? Like, what my brain immediately went to was like a bad episode of Grey's Anatomy when the person's laying there and they put the petals on them. They're like, and like the heart beats for a second and then they just die on the table. Like, that's what I'm wondering. Is this like a for Kylie Cosmetics where are they gonna live or are they gonna die? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Is this a fake heartbeat? What do you think? Is this just we're going to play on nostalgia, but we're not going to be able to maintain this? Or do you think this is a brand refresh where they're just going to come back to life and be one of those forward brands that we hear about a lot? Let me know in the comments. Bethenny Frankel has made a name for herself beyond her Real Housewives persona. She is a legit influencer now. She has been reviewing products in short form for a really long time, and her endorsement does go a long way. People really trust her product reviews, and she reviews all kinds of stuff. It's not just cosmetics. She's like doing food reviews and tons and tons of categories of different things. But when Bethenny likes something, it seems like the sales increase for that product. And Rock Skincare has capitalized on that, and they have hired her to promote their lip volumizer. It's a brand new product. Before I say anything else, I want you to watch Bethenny's ad that she made for the new lip volumizer. Let me know if you're convinced, because I definitely was.
This could be the greatest lip product of all time, making it the gloat. Rock Lip Volumizer. I've been gatekeeping, not because I don't want you to have it, but because I've been working with it, trying it, and seeing if I could possibly make such a bold statement, and I think that I can. I'll tell you why. Because it's like skincare. So it's giving you the moisturization of a mask, like it's so emollient and so creamy. This is cooling. Immediately starts tingling and plumping, not in an uncomfortable way. You just could tell that it's working. And instantly you feel the tingling, and it starts to plump and volumize. But over time, like skincare, it's functional. It's solution and science-backed. This should be part of your skincare program just as much as washing your face. This is an excellent lip product. I mean, superb, chef's kiss. You're welcome. Run, love, hero product. Like, you'll thank me later. You're welcome.
Because the Wonder Twins of research and science had been activated within my soul, I decided to look into the ingredients of this product to see if it was worth $30. What's the likelihood that the claims that Rock is making about this lip volumizer are true? And what's just marketing? Let's talk about it. Before I do, reminder, honorary degree in Googling, not a cosmetic chemist. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. All right, here we go. So I looked at the ingredients. One of the claims is immediate plump, and I would imagine that the immediate plump is specifically from 2 ingredients. The first one is the hot pepper extract, because when you put hot pepper extract on your skin goes, and blood starts just going to that area, and it can create a temporary plumping. Also, there's hyaluronic acid in there. It is a humectant. Its job is to pull water into the top layer of the skin, and it can cause a temporary plumping. So just to be clear, both of these are very temporary effects. There is one ingredient that could create an under the skin type of effect, and that is the pro-collagen peptide, palmityl tripeptide 1. It's not collagen, it is a peptide. Now, over time, this peptide, from what I've researched, can encourage collagen production below the skin's surface. However, it has to be consistently used, and how much we're going to be able to see is debatable, because just because it's increasing collagen production doesn't necessarily mean that there will be a visible difference. Their website also says that the product is inspired by lip injections. Yeah, all lip plumpers are inspired by lip injections, right? So this is, again, just marketing to get you to make that association, but it's not saying it's like a lip injection. It's saying it's inspired by very different vocabulary there. This is where it gets very interesting, because it says that it has 2 times visible volume improvement. So my question is am I looking at it and I'm saying, wow, that looks 2 times bigger? Or am I measuring it to see that it is actually 2 times bigger? This says specifically visible. And there may be a couple of reasons for this. One, they may not be able to measure it because it is not actually 2 times bigger. The other one is within cosmetic regulation, in that you cannot sell something that structurally changes the skin, because that is technically a drug, and they would need drug facts. They would have to run through all kinds of regulation in order to sell something that actually changed the structure of your lip skin to make it bigger. So it could be one or the other or both. But as I scrolled down a little bit, I saw their before and after pictures, and I was like, yeah, I don't think the lips are 2 times bigger. I don't think that that's happening. Take a look. Do you see what I see? I know it's not Christmas time yet, but that's the song I was thinking of when I saw this, because I see something. Now, I asked my husband to look at it, and he didn't notice, but I noticed right away that the bottom lip just didn't line up. So in order to make this fair, let's adjust that a little bit and make the bottom lip line up. Now let's look at that bottom example. It does look slightly plumped. Slightly plumped, looks very similar to images that I've seen from other lip plumpers and effects I've actually seen myself with other brands of lip plumpers. So I do feel like that bottom example is fair and probably accurate to what is really happening. But that top one, there's something going on here, because if you look at the bottom of the before, there's a little bump underneath the lip line. And I was like, why is that not in the after? And I was thinking, how could I get my lip to look like that? What would I have to do? And what I would have to do, at least this is what I'm thinking, is purse my lips together, which would in effect make my lips look smaller. So of course I always have to take things a little bit further than necessary. And I decided, as I was writing the script, to take a couple pictures of myself. I took one picture of myself pursing my lips together in a way that I think that they may be doing in this picture. And then I did one kind of poofing my lips out to try to make my lips look bigger. And then I adjusted them and I made it look as close as I could to a before and after photo. Would you buy the product that's on my lips? Would you believe that my lips have been plumped by a product? I will tell you right now, there is absolutely nothing on my lips, and you saw exactly what I did in order to get this effect. Now, I'm not saying that Rock did this. I'm just saying that's what it appears from my eyes. I could be wrong here. The big takeaway here for me personally was looking at the ingredients. I didn't see anything that made it stand out as being a better lip plumper than other lip plumpers on the market. That you may see that if I purchase this, I would think I may see a very, very small difference, but I don't know if anybody else would notice. Bethenny says that this is a solid alternative to lip filler. And technically, she's right, because anything is an alternative to lip filler. Not using anything is an alternative to lip filler. Using an EOS lip balm is an alternative to lip filler. This Panera Bread lip balm that smells like bread is an alternative to lip filler. So technically she's not wrong, but I do feel like it is misleading in that this is not going to give you the same effects as lip filler. It's just not. It's not physically possible. And to present this as a revolutionary lip plumper, I feel like is misleading. I'm not saying Bethenny didn't have that experience, that she didn't buy into it, that she didn't visibly see enough results, or that she's lying. I'm saying that I feel like from my eyes that Rock is being deceptive in their advertisement for this lip plumper. That's my opinion. And that alone is enough for me personally to not only not want to buy this lip plumper, but not to want to buy from Rock ever again. Again, that's just my opinion. I think you should do what you think is right and what you feel in your heart, because to you, this may not even be that big of a deal and you just want a lip plumper that does the lip plumping things. And I think this product could do that for you. So let me know what you think in the comments. Are you kind of leaning toward me where I'm like, this is such a huge deal, oh my gosh, I hate this so much? Or are you like, Jen, this is not a big deal? I would love to know your thoughts. The beauty subscription IPSY has been collaborating with celebrity brand owners for a really long time. So when I saw this headline, I was a little bit confused. It reads, IPSY launches first ultimate collection with Natasha Denona. And I was like, first ultimate collection. I was like, this kind of sounds like the Icon box. So are they doing like a new initiative that's the ultimate collection? No, it's the Icon box. It's just renamed, it's rebranded. And then I looked and I saw that they're not only rebranding the Icon box as the ultimate box, but they're rebranding their other two offerings as well. So the glam bag, I got that, I think my first glam bag in December of 2012. And that was what it was called. It was called Glam Bag by IPSY, or the whole company was IPSY, and then you would purchase the glam bag. It's just been iconic forever. No longer called the glam bag, it is now called IPSY Original. Also, IPSY bought BoxyCharm back a while ago, so BoxyCharm kind of melded into IPSY, and their middle size option was called still BoxyCharm, BoxyCharm by IPSY. BoxyCharm's officially dead now. It's no longer called BoxyCharm. It is called IPSY Extra. And of course, the Icon box is now called the Ultimate Collection. So it's all rebranded. Now let's talk about the Ultimate box just specifically. So of course, it's in collaboration with the Natasha Denona. You'll get a Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette in there. I'm not sure what size or what kind. You'll also get products from Tatcha, Say, 5 Cents, and Milk Makeup. Total value is up to $400. But there is a catch though, and the catch is that you have to be an IPSY subscriber in order to get the Ultimate box. And there's also a $65 upcharge for this. So if you're interested, link is down below. And for our lighthearted story of the week, we are going to do, actually, it's kind of like two stories because I want to do a callback to a lighthearted story I did a few weeks ago. It was maybe a month or two ago. And it was these stickers where it's essentially eyeshadow and lash and you just put it on your lid. And it was this small independent beauty brand and I thought it was really cool. It looked beautiful on her. So I shared it with you. And y'all were like, Jen, this has been available in the Asian market for a really long time. This is not revolutionary. They're not very good. And I don't know what you're talking about, that this is a new thing. I didn't know. So for the revisit, we're going to go to Robert Welsh, who purchased these and tried them. And when I tell you, I had tears rolling down my face during this video, I have to show you.
No, I need to go up a bit. Okay, so you have two choices here, right? You can either have the I can't open my eye. You could either have the inside corner line up with your eye makeup, or you can with your eye, or the outside corner, because you can see it depending on your eye shape, because it stops just before my eye finishes. This is so bad.
Definitely watch the entire video. It is linked down below. Robert did a fantastic job as always. But that brings us to the second product because it is a similar kind of thing, but different. Allow me to explain. We are talking about a company called GlamPod Beauty. They are advertising both a product and an experience that you can pre-order. Let's talk about the product, which is called the Glam Mask. Here's the description. Elevate your beauty routine with Glam Mask, the ultimate at-home or on-the-go solution for flawless makeup, preloaded. With custom makeup, this skin-safe mask gives you a professional finish in seconds. Just press, peel, and go. Perfect for busy days, travel, or whenever you need quick glam. Glam Mask brings the magic of makeup to you wherever you are. And I have to admit, I was being kind of a hater. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, how is this going to work? Like, is this going to be like the stickers? Am I going to get burned again where I thought this was a good idea and y'all were like, Jen, it's not a good idea. And then Robert tried it and it definitely wasn't a good idea. Is it going to be like that again? Like, is it a sticker that you just put on your face? Or is it like the Fazit glitter freckles where it's like a temporary tattoo? That would look so fake, right? I was like, how the heck is this going to work? Wait for it. I went to the FAQ page and this just made me even more of a skeptic. It reads, customized combination of foundation, concealer, eyeshadow, blush, contour, highlighter, eyeliner, and lip color. Customizing the look will happen with an app where you can adjust the tones and the placement of the makeup. Again, I was being such a hater. I was like, there's no freaking way. There's no way. But then I saw the founder trying the prototype. Just watch.
Don't expect this to be good. Don't expect this to be good because it's my first time painting an inverted freaking face. Oh, let me show you what it looks like. Looking kind of crazy, but we're gonna see. I'm sure it's gonna be all over the place, but this will at least give me information on what areas I should do in what ways, and if it works in general, and maybe some other information. So hold please. Oh my God. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Okay, calm down. Calm down. I need a second. My life was flashing before my eyes. I need a second. Okay. First of all, it was cut off, right? Like, because the mask is not big enough, and that's fine. That's like a very easy fix, and we will fix it in the next print. Okay? So that's a non-issue. I put like, I couldn't really see it when I was putting it on, and I was like, I don't know where this goes. So I put a little, like, you know, it's just like a little concealer. And literally, when I was holding it down, I didn't know how long to hold it. Obviously, that wasn't very long. I have to go back and time it. But it was just, I couldn't breathe, so I need to put holes there. I didn't put holes because I didn't think I needed them. And apparently, we need them. Anyway, we've got a face full of makeup. That eyeshadow, I didn't have appropriate eyeshadow. That was like the right texture, the right consistency. So that will be fixed next time. Wow. Do we have a makeup mask? Ugh!
I have to be honest, I am not such a hater anymore. Like, I see the vision. And after she blended it, it looked really nice, right? Like, it actually looked really good. I was like, wow. And then she's talking about how the marketing of this is specifically for people with disabilities. Like, it doesn't have to be people with disabilities, but like people that can't just sit there and do their makeup and make it look nice for hours, or people that just don't have the practice or the skill to make, you know, all you got to do is it's placed there. You just got to blend it out, right? And I was like, that actually is really cool. So now let's go over to their second thing, which is the experience. It's called the GlamPod. This is the description. Step into the future of beauty with GlamPod, an in-store experience that redefines makeup application. Powered by AI and robotics, GlamPod customizes your look with precision in just minutes, giving you flawless results every time. Whether you're prepping for a busy day, a night out, or a special occasion, let GlamPod handle your glam effortlessly and without mess. And first thing I thought of, I don't know if you thought about this, was the nail polish machines where they paint your nails. You put and those are actually in stores now. Like I've seen those in person. I've never gotten it done, but I've seen them in stores. So this sounds like a machine that you would like maybe sit in, like a photo booth or something, and then there'll be like makeup brushes that would just like do your makeup. That'd be wild if that's what this is. The question is, how much does this cost? And this is where I become skeptical again, because I don't see how they can lower the price on this. I genuinely don't. You can get one glam mask for $20. Then we have a second option, which is the Glam Plus. It's $60. You get one mask with free shipping plus 15% discount on purchases for 6 months after the launch. Then we have Super Glam. It's $100. It's 2 masks with free shipping plus 1 makeup application from Glam Pod when it launches. And then we have the most expensive one, which is Glam Premier. It is $175. You get 2 masks with free shipping plus an invitation to their Glam Pod launch party, plus 1 free Glam Pod makeup application, plus a 15% discount for 6 months post launch of Glam. This is where the problem comes, in that besides each application being $20, which I don't think is sustainable, we have a sale of a service that we don't know where it's going to be located. All we know is that it's going to start in the US, but where is this Glam Pod going to be? It's not going to be like EV charging stations everywhere off the jump. So if I live in the middle of Kansas and there's a Glam Pod, the only one is in Los Angeles, am I going to pay for a flight to go get my makeup done by a robot that I already paid for? That's going to be really expensive. Also, this launch party, where is that going to take place? It seems like that the home base for this company is Los Angeles. Where's this launch party going to be? It's going to be anywhere in the US. And I'm assuming it doesn't include travel expenses because, you know, we're only charging $100 and $175. You see what I'm saying? So I think they should be prepared for a lot of refunds for people who aren't able to make it to the Glam Pod, people that aren't going to be able to make it to this launch party. They're setting themselves up for a massive problem in that, in my opinion. However, I love this concept and I really hope that it works out for them. The owner seems very sweet in the social posts that she's putting up, and it seems like it's coming out with the absolute best of intentions, and I think it could help a lot of people. I see some holes in the plan. I'm hoping I'm wrong, and I'm hoping they just sort everything out and everything goes super well for them. And that, my friend, was What's Up in Makeup this week. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, as always, thank you to the What's Up in Makeup Facebook hunters. Their names are scrolling below me. Thank you for all of your submissions this week. I appreciate you with my entire heart and soul. Thank you so much. Our live chat today will be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you for your patience with me last week when I had to cancel. It was a situation, but everything's fine. Everything's good. So live chat's going to be today at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to be hanging out, talking about makeup. I hope you will join us. If you can't, it's totally okay. You can catch it on the replay over in your subscription feed if you're subscribed, or if you don't want to subscribe, that's okay too. I will make you do something you don't want to do. You can also check out my channel page, click on the live tab. They're also housed there. But if you would like to subscribe, it's a lot easier to find my videos that way in your subscription feed. I would love that for you, but also I'd love it for me because it makes me look cool. So do it for me if you don't want to do it for you, because when my numbers go up, it makes me look good. It could be a way to say, like, thanks for the video, I enjoyed it, and just subscribe because it's free. If you'd like to hang out a little more right now, I would love to have you stay. YouTube should be recommending 2 videos over here for you. The bottom was last week's episode of What's Been Makeup, in case you missed it. And then the top one is one YouTube's going to pick for you based on what you've been watching recently, what they think you'll enjoy. But if you got to go because you got stuff going on, it is no problem. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. And mad love to you. I will see you in a video very soon.